right now as we speak in 2025, anybody who is alive at this point will look back and remember how lucky they were that they were existing at this time right now, because something interesting is happening. And the last time this thing happened was almost 100 years ago, which is that economic systems are changing the baton. So what I mean is the age that is about living now, which is the industrial age. When that age came in, what we had was the agrarian age. The agrarian age means if you have access to land, then you can till the land. You can produce something and sell, feed your family and sell. That was the agrarian age. If you didn't have land, you needed to be paying dues to a lord. So it was feudalism. So the owner of the land was the person who controlled the means of production. So if you owned land, you were rich. Then if you had access to land, you could benefit from that riches. So then the way societies were structured were based on how much labor do you have? So how many children do you have? So then polygamy made sense, because the more children you have, the more land you can cultivate, the more you produce, the richer you become. So many times if you see a wealthy person, he will likely be associated with several wives and many children. So imagine you were in that period, you were working on a farm and you were trying to cultivate yams or cassava. Yes. Then you see this monstrosity just passing, this thing on 4 big tires and a steaming engine, boom, 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 boom. And within 1 hour, it has done the work of 50 people. So clearing a farmland that used to take you like 1 week, this machine has done it in one day. And you're like, what is this machine? Who will ever use this thing? Everybody is practicing manual labor. Why would you ever think that this machine will take over? Yes. And the machines did. They took over not just land, but they changed how we structure our society. Because back then, once you grew up and you had the means to provide labor, you were okay. But in this new industrial age, labor is not enough. That labor has to be skilled labor so that you can work in a factory. So we moved from farmlands to factories, and everything was structured around how you supply the factories. The universities we have now are a product of that age. Create schools where we would teach people and train them so that they can supply skilled labor to our factories. If you remember from my first story, what I was doing in university was they were training me up as labor so that I'll fit into the oil industry factory. In the factory, yes. There's the banking factory. All these things you are seeing around us are factories. And that's why people go to school to get skilled. And when you get skilled, you come out and fit into the factory. So right now, we are going into another transition, which is, so we had a mini transition in between, which we thought was the main transition, but it wasn't, which is like the computer age. But now what we are seeing is that computers were foreboders of this age that is coming in now. You are hearing things like artificial intelligence, big data, and things like that.